Yeah, just following on from a recent information session on the Innovative Community Partnerships funding for youth justice. Just running through a quick timeline of the program and their camp structure, just for community to access as a video. So going to shoot through this fairly quickly. Please contact us through info@ Murigurim Yalaam. I'll chuck the email address on the YouTube. Okay, so referrals. Referrals coming from community, first of all, youth justice, obviously, as well, schools and partner agencies. Enrolment of families is a huge part of the work. So starting with parents and carers, speaking to the child, but also really working to identify a same-sex adult that can journey with the child through the camps and through the experience. That's an essential part of the program. So those adults that are journeying through with the young people enter into a series of yarning circles. 4 is the goal, so 1 a week for 4 weeks, or actually 5 weeks leading up to. So that in the 5th week, we'll do a combined circle, bringing the youth and adults together just prior to camp. Those adult yarning circles, as you see down below here, just introductions would be the first week. 2, just introducing the adults to telling their own stories in a safe way. 3, really, digging down into what the culture is, the cultural heritage of each person coming into the program, the precedence given to bachelor culture while we're on bachelor country, and the culture of that circle. So really honing down on the shared values of that group. So we'll have a look at that shared values concept again when we look at the camps. And then on the 4th circle, we're kind of planning. So each representation of adults that are initiating the young people into adulthood kind of can plan the activities that we're running on camp. Now there's a structure that goes with that, some boundaries around what we can and can't do on camp, but certainly when people bring special skills to that circle, whether it's dance or language, hunting, fishing, or whatever they have that they would like, or, that we want to pass on to that next generation. Yep, that's available. So yeah, those are those yarning circles. All right, next come the camps themselves. And now this is in itself a conversation. And again, I'm just going to plow through this pretty quickly, but there's a lot that can be said about each of these slides. Number 1 is the fire. So again, coming back to that concept of the shared values, having a very explicit set of what are we here for, what are we planning to achieve, what are the important things that we need to impart and model for the young people on the program. For every circle, there's 2 facilitators. They work in partnership to keep the circle safe and to keep everyone on task, and to trust the process when things are getting a bit crazy, and to ensure that we stick within timeframes and all that sort of stuff. So facilitators, and then we've got our parents, relatives, and mentors. So the adults partnering with our young people, ideally are parents, step parents, uncles, mentors. So trusted people attached to the family. So we're not talking about mentors that are that the young person's only just met that day or anything like that. These are people that are nominated by the family, or trusted by the family. And then for some young people, it's just impossible to identify that same-sex adult to journey through with them. And so we have positions available for agency workers who may be journeying with a young person currently through a process. So there'd be we would be predicting, but 2 to 3, maybe 4 at the most agency workers on any given camp. And then of course our young people, 12. The goal is 12 for each camp. Sort of somewhere between 8 and 16 is other boundaries, but 12 is a really good number to aim for. And again, trained, experienced facilitators of youth in that circle. So those youth circles go out, spend time yarning up, and they come back, and likewise with the adults spending time yarning up, come back together into combined conversations. And that's kind of the progress of the camps. That's how it works. A lot of storytelling, a lot of ritual, and activities too, getting into stuff. So we have two train facilitators of logistics. Very important role, going ahead of the groups as they move into different spaces, lighting fires, keeping fires safe, creating, working between the groups and the kitchen so that we're all fed and sustained and looked after and safe and whatnot. And then that's where the caterer comes in, very important, our nutrition on camp, making sure that, we're getting the food at the right time. And very important role. And then, of course, there's our invisible community, not visible on the camp, not present in the processes, but nonetheless very, very important. So in the case of our women's process, that would be our men, as well as, women outside of the camp that are making it all possible. And then likewise, when our men are on camp, those are our women preparing for that return and helping things run smoothly at home. Obviously, it's a big job. Okay, so that's the camps in very brief, and then so the lead out is around yarning circles. So women have a yarning circle currently on country, and that may be developed or mirrored or whatever comes from that women's process as we continue to plan and live this stuff out. For the men, we're kicking off a yarning circle that with facilitators or intended facilitators, people interested in the process, people who've done the level 1 training, those kinds of men meeting on a Friday evening, sort of leading up to the camps, and available then to the participants as they come out. So our young men and their adult mentors accessing those yarning circles freely as they require. We'd love to see them split out into numerous over time, who knows, but yeah, just ensuring that they're present. Also, our CQID partners are really important because they provide that holistic family support, both on the lead in and the lead out, identifying the those needs for families and community that are that are not something that we can necessarily deal with in a circle. Awesome. And then obviously, if I was smarter on these things, someone can do it for me. I'd turn this into a big circle, because it's a bit cyclical, obviously, the yarning circles and that, and the opportunity for future camps where especially our returning young men become an integral part of future camps, helping the youth in particular to navigate this rite of passage, this progression from being a child to being an adult.